Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today's build and play guide is on the Warspite. Yes, one of the most cool ships to me. I love the way it looks, love the history of it, love the name, love everything. So it doesn't matter, by the way, if it's Warspite, the regular one, the black one, the white one, the calico one, the purple one. They're all the same, guys. I'll even show you real quick so you can see that they are exactly the same. So, with that being said, let's get started on the build. Uh, I am using Azure Lane, New Jersey. We're going to talk about this a little bit. So, uh, if if you have Nelson, I feel she's a super good fit for this ship. Not for HE. Is we're going to go see the Big 7 perk takes away armor penetration of the shells. These are big shells. These are 15-inch shells at tier 5. West Virginia is bigger, but for the most part, these are big shells for the tier. What ends up happening is you get a lot of overpens. I actually struggled with this ship the first couple matches. I made the switch to New Jersey, and I did much better. Now, for your inspirations, Scharnhorst or John Fisher or Cunningham and D. Ravel for reload. For your skills, Flammable Cannoneer, Big 7, and it actually does help the AP and the HE quite a bit. 16% is quite a bit. I think these are somewhere around 12,000 damage without it. And that does help the damage of these, and it also stops overpenning on cruisers a lot. And you're gonna see that into this match, and I wanted to showcase it. Um, and marksmanship for the extra dispersion, and master mechanic, another reason that I went with Nelson over Cunningham. This definitely helps. This ship has a pretty good heal. Now, if you don't have Nelson and you just have the free commanders, honestly, I've been shifting to like John Fisher quite a bit more than Cunningham as of recently, especially because of that repair mechanic. You see, this is just John Fisher with the Geist on it, and you could use Cunningham or and Ravel for your inspirations or Scharnhorst. The base trade is really good on Fisher, especially for this one to help get down the reload. We'll talk about that here in a second. Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Reformer, and Master Mechanic. So, again, John Fisher to me is becoming the commander I use way more than Cunningham, believe it or not. So, let's go ahead take a look at the ship here. Upgrades, aiming systems, mod 1. It is a pretty accurate ship, and you could actually, I don't ever normally do this when dispersion's on the table, but these turrets turn really slow. So main battery mod 2 is not a terrible option here, guys. Also, for your mod 2 here, your mod slot 2, steering gears is what I prefer. It's always kind of what I do in battleships for the most part to dodge torpedoes. With this build, we have 5 instead of 3 heals, and they're actually better on Nelson and Fisher. I think they're normally 312 or so with Cunningham. And these, that is a big part of this ship. It's not the super heals like Conqueror or Marlboro, but it does have very good heals for the tier. And then a spotter plane for a dispersion or for your shell grouping. For the specs on it, it has about an average health. And here is the big thing about this ship, guys. This is the stuff that can either make people not like this ship or love it, and it's all on the certain player. I like this ship a lot. I think it's one of the better tier 5s, but I could understand people struggling with this. We have Nelson on, so we're really helping that AP. I think it's normally around 11.8 or something. So the shell damage is very similar to like the American AP. The only difference is you only get 8 of them. They are 15-inch, but you only get 8 of them. And that turret traverse at 180 turn time, abysmal. That is one of the biggest knocks of this ship. You can outturn your gun so easy. If you're planning to make a turn, plan it 2 weeks ahead of time to get them guns around, because that's what you're gonna need. So the guns can be the strong suit strong suit of the ship, or it could be the weakness of the ship, depending on if you're aware of these guns and what they are. So you gotta be careful with cruisers. If you're not using New Nelson, they will overpen like crazy. Um, for AA defense, it's about middle road. The one thing I will say is it does have that 5 kilometer where they start firing. Now, it's not a ton of damage out there, but it does help. A lot of the tier 5s are at 4.2, outside of, obviously California and its AA wonderfulness. For maneuverability, shockingly, I was surprised. This thing is a dreadnought, but it's not overly slow. 23 knots at tier 5 is no laughing joke. The turning circle at 55 or 550 meters, excellent. This thing, if you want it to, can turn on a dime. And the rudder shift at 12 seconds is pretty good too. Concealment 13.6, but let's be honest, as a battleship, you are not sneaking up in open water on a dead moose. So, take a look at stats here. I struggled a little bit with it till I switched to New Jersey, and then I've been doing really well with it since. You can see the main guns are pretty accurate. They won't feel that accurate because there's only 8 of them, but you can see they are pretty accurate. That's actually, I think my average in a battleship is at 40, so they're solid. You can see average damage, XP is decent. Potential damage is a hair low in this, but not terrible for tier 5. And we will go check out here armor. As you can see here, you have a 25 millimeter bow. So anything over 14-inch guns can punch through. Now it is a little tougher because you do have this extended belt that goes to the stern and the bow. Not all the way. It's not like a full icebreaker. It's the extended belt. But it does help quite a bit. So let's take off all this here. And you're gonna see it's a for a battleship, it's not like fully submerged or nothing, but it's at least waterline or slightly down, and it can be tough to hit. You can Citadel Warspites, but a lot of times it's gonna be while they're making a turn. So if you're gonna pull that Citadel out of the water making a turn, you will get hit pretty hard. And also if they get you kind of in that front little bit at the right angle, you can get Citadel to the front, just kind of like the American battleships. But for the most part, pretty tanky. As we go ahead and start this match and check who we're up against, I do want to say it is disclaimer time. This is a beginner's guide to help out people just learning this ship or learning the game in general. This is not for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything. There is also multiple ways to build and play ships, so opinions will vary. I am just a above average player. I don't claim to be the best player in the world. I just am a pretty darn good player. So I do make mistakes. You're going to see some in this match. And also, you didn't come to this video to see how to pronounce names, as I am very terrible at slaughtering other beautiful languages. It's almost an art form, so keep that in mind when you're watching this, guys. With that out of the way, we're on hotspot, and this is a good map because you get some interesting crossfires and an interesting way this game plays out a lot of times. So we're gonna work our way over to the left, and we're not leaving our side. What we're doing is we're gonna push up, but in a safe manner. So if you guys saw, we're kind of aimed at that mountain in front of us right there, and we're going to try to use that to block our left side. Now, we see the Iron Duke and the Renown, but we're not going to shoot right away because I want to get about to where I'm going to get behind this island and then shoot, because then I can break spotting. And as you can see, I'm still spotted. I thought I was going to go dark right away here, but we're going to still move up here try to use this one island to our left to help us out. And you can see there was a Hyuga that was spotting us, and he hits us pretty good. I didn't expect him to be there because I spotted the 3 battleships right. I spotted 3 of them, and I thought, well, I didn't just expect one to be over there. That one's on me. He caught me. And realizing that he's a solid player now, we have to go ahead. We're going to throw some shells at him as we, you can see I'm checking my left-hand side. We're going to get a couple shells on Hyuga, let him know we're here. And we're going to try to take this position. This position can be really good because you have these mountains kind of in front of you. You're getting protected from the left-hand side. As you can see, the Renown is starting to come here. And he did make a good turn in here. But for the most part, in this position right here, it is a good one in a battleship because you can affect the whole side. That little island in front of you, while it doesn't keep you covered, what it does is stop torpedoes from hitting you. For the most part, it makes it pretty hard for you to get torpedoed in this spot. You can see I switched over to HE because Hyuga is bow tanking, so I'm actually going to throw some HE his way here in a second. But I realize I'm pushed up just a little bit too much right now with all these battleships here. I think there was 4 of them here. So we're going to go ahead and just back up a touch, and we're going to go ahead and put some HE on Hyuga. And we're just going to go ahead and let that burn. I'm going to back up a little bit as that Renown did push in. You're going to see that once I realize the threat really isn't there. What I'm trying to do here, by the way, is I'm going to back up to this island to make Hyuga not be able to hit me from over there. So we're trying to make it so Hyuga's really not much of a threat there. He's burning. And you can see we're going to try to get a couple shells on Renown. As you can see, he is burning, so I figured we'll use up this HE on him. And maybe get one other fire while we go to switch to reload the AP. Most of the time in this thing, barring circumstances like Hyuga bow taking me, you're gonna use AP in this ship for the most part. And you can see Renown is burning, not from me, from someone else. And you're gonna see I'm gonna start to move up now because Renown, if Renown comes out of there, I can kill him pretty easily for the most part. And we've done some damage to Hyuga. Hyuga's backing off a little bit, but you're gonna see I take a couple shots here at the Iron Duke. And we are, in fact, going to go ahead and start to move up. And we did a very solid salvo right there with 4 full pins. So half of our shells hit it, but the ones that did hit were solid. They did full pins, not over pins. And even on battleships, you can overpin with this thing if you're not using Nelson. So be careful of that too. So Renown's sitting there. Going backwards, so we figured we would take a shot, but the torpedoes do get them. So we are 100% gonna move up now here, because now the only threat really is Hyuga, and obviously Hyuga's been doing quite a bit over here so far. So we're gonna start to work up, and you can see the left side is starting to lose. And at this point, I knew that. And you're going to see me make some looks over there really quick to see. And but with the Hyuga and just the Duke over here, we're going to try to help get rid of these guys. And then I want to help that other side. And I'm already planning that. So you're going to see I'm starting to move forward here. I'm keeping an eye on Hyuga because we know he's a decent player from what he's been doing so far on this side. But we're going to go ahead and keep moving up. And I'm waiting, honestly, right here. I was waiting for the Iron Duke to come broadside out. That's really what I was waiting for, but he isn't going to do it. So we're just going to throw some shells down there. Make sure that Hyuga is not destroying us. And I wish I had seen Hyuga was broadside there. That would have definitely probably been the better shot. But we still got a decent one on Iron Duke, and we did help get him, away before he got another shell off. So you can see I'm just checking to see what's over there. I'm spotted, so clearly there is a cruiser directly to my left somewhere. So I'm not overly worried. It's not like they're going to remove me from the map in one salvo. So we're going to go ahead and take our shots at Hyuga. And again, he's turning out a little bit. Obviously, a decent player. He's angling pretty well to our team. And you can see there is the cruiser. So we're going to go ahead and keep pushing up. And we're actually here. We see him turn in, and so we throw a couple shells there. Now, uh, when he was angled, as you can see, we're getting ready to look over here. Then I see the battleships are starting to turn in. So I want to limit them guys shooting me right now, and I want to get rid of this Hyuga. So we're going to take this sharp turn in, and because I don't have the ability to turn my guns fast enough to affect that other side yet. And like I said, we want to get rid of Hyuga. Also, you can see that he's burning a little bit here now. So we're going to protect our left side again and angle to the stuff behind us pretty well. And we're going to take some shots. You see, I'm going to switch over to HE here because he has been, for the most part, angling enough where I might just try to put a fire on him so I don't have to deal with him forever. And you can see them rear turrets do not move quick. And I'm actually kind of starting to turn them right here now because I know I'm going to need them on my left side after we get rid of Hyuga. But we're going to go ahead, and Hyuga is going to be kind of a pain here. And I normally don't chase people kiting away, but two things. We have help with this, and also if I can get rid of him, this whole side I don't have to worry about, and I only have to angle to the one group of people that to the left, and that's why it's a big deal. As you can see, our destroyer goes ahead and gets rid of Hyuga. So, a quiet game, but we have 70,000 damage already. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to, we've had our guns turning for what seems like 3 weeks here, and you're going to see how long these guns take to get turned around. And you can see it. I planned it pretty well for the most part, but the turrets on this thing are so slow. They're not a lot of fun with. Now, Brett and Tog, yeah, I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. I always do, but Brett is not pointed at me right now. So you see now I start to angle here. He's only had a couple of his guns at me. So we're going to go ahead and try to take him out. I'm actually trying to get him gone real quick so I can start shooting Dunkirk. Because Dunkirk is angled to my isn't angled to me. And I can get some solid shots on him right now. He's kind of angled to our team over there to the left. And you can see Pensacola's there. We're going to actually get a Citadel on the Brett to get rid of Brett. And now we're going to throw one at the Pensacola because I know what's going to happen. Pensacola's going to try to run away. So we're not even going to focus on that. We're going to get rid of Dunkirk. We do get 3 overpens on Pensacola. That is probably the last time we're going to get overpens, to be honest with you, because we're going to go over, yeah, for the most part, we're going to have pretty good luck from here on out. We're going to, while Dunkirk is angled to the team, we are going to go ahead and hit Dunkirk pretty good with some full pens. And we got, with our front set and our back set. So we got 5 full penetrations with 8 guns there, which is really good. And that's why I like Nelson, because you would a lot of times, even on some of the battleships, you're gonna get overpens with these guns that Warspite has, a 15-inch gun. So we're starting to chunk him. We're gonna keep going down here. I think right here I was debating on whether to turn my guns to the right or not, because I know there's 2 cruisers, both lost spotted on that side of the map. But I think I can get one more shot at Dunkirk as he starts to turn out. So we're going to put 2 more up there. And then we're going to keep an eye on what's going on over there. As you can see, um, Pensacola and I believe it's in Omaha. And you are going to see how long it takes to turn these guns around. So obviously, Omaha knows I'm here. I think he is stopping and starting to back up. Now, a lot of times we wouldn't actually shoot if there's torpedoes on the way, but he's backing up. They're clearly going to miss. And you're going to see these turrets take forever to get around. As we get our high caliber here. And what we're going to do is normally at this range, a lot of times out of Omaha, we're getting within 9, or, 10, 9 kilometers. When they're flat broadside like this guy doesn't have a terrible play here. When they're flat broadsides, a lot of time you'll just go straight through and overpin them and not citadel. But we're going to send off our front turrets and we're going to do ourselves a magic trick. Now you see him, now you don't. But like I said, a lot of times at that close-up angles, when you start to get close up, particularly my next shot, you're going to get a lot of overpins normally with this ship. And I feel like the setup that we did here was a good one. As you can see, I'm starting to sneak up on this island. I was hoping the destroyer went around the backside of the other way because I know that eventually he's going to come out this side or the destroyer is going to see him. So I was trying to let the destroyer know, hey, go this way. We can see him. It'd be a little bit easier. But yeah, he went to the front. It ends up working out. And he is going to go ahead and get over there to spot him. But I thought if the destroyer would go around the back, it would be force the Pensacola one way or another. He couldn't just stay there. As you can see, there is a Pensacola. We're going to take a shot. The first 3 shells that hit him, citadel him, and completely take him off the map with full pens. Only 3 shells hit because that's, he died. So that's all it needed to hit. But anyway, 150,000 damage is we go ahead and really help our team in this match. Anyway, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time, folks. Have a good one.